Look at the mess you created with your sweat.
Coach, honestly, Coach,
Why all that sweat?
Grapple today, 30,
3 minutes?
32 minutes.
Islam Makhachev is also grappling Khabib's cousin Abu Bakr Nurmagomedov, and he was showing some techniques as well when Khabib Nurmagomedov was training them all. He was just holding the camera, he was telling Islam what to do. Also, Khabib is in the gym with Islam Makhachev and all the boys. He's helping everyone out for their next fights, especially Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev. Take Makhachev for instance. He always has the right game plan. Take him down, apply pressure, keep pressing, impose his pressure. And I believe that this is exactly the right kind of...
I actually think Ian Garry can beat Islam. Now, I'm not predicting for you that he's going to, we'll get to that as this fight gets closer, but I'm sharing for you he can.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is back in the gym pushing Islam Makhachev and Team Khabib to their limits, while sharpening every weapon ahead of the biggest fights to come. But as Chael Sonnen warns that Ian Garry has everything needed to shock the world, even Charles Oliveira is giving Islam his respect, setting the stage for a massive clash that has everyone talking. New training footage shows Khabib Nurmagomedov back in full coaching mode, leading Islam Makhachev through intense grappling drills while sharpening every detail from the sidelines. With Abu Bakr and the entire team grinding alongside him, Khabib is making sure Islam enters his next fight more dangerous than ever.
Islam Makhachev is also grappling Khabib's cousin Abu Bakr Nurmagomedov, and he was showing some techniques as well when Khabib Nurmagomedov was training them all. He was just holding the camera, he was telling Islam what to do. Also, Khabib is in the gym with Islam Makhachev and all the boys. He's helping everyone out for their next fights, especially Islam Makhachev.
Adding to that, Islam past opponent Charles Oliveira gave major respect to three of MMA's biggest names, Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier, and Ilia Topuria, but reserved his highest praise for the reigning champion. Oliveira revealed that Islam hasn't stopped evolving, calling him an exceptional talent who has completely transformed his game with relentless work on his footwork. It's a powerful warning that the champion is only getting more dangerous with every training camp.
This is an interesting question because I wonder who Charles will take with him.
Islam Makhachev,
Who?
Islam Makhachev.
The fighters are Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier, and also Ilia Topuria.
Yeah.
Every time we see each other, they treat me very well. These are three guys whom I respect a lot as fighters. And not just for what they do in the cage, but also for who they are outside of it. And
Who is the best among these three?
out of these three, Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev?
Yes, Islam Makhachev. I think he is an exceptionally talented master and is currently working hard on improving his footwork. I think he is one of those who, in my opinion, has undergone the most significant transformation.
From a different perspective, Chael Sonnen stunned fans by declaring that Ian Garry has everything it takes to beat Islam Makhachev, despite the champion's dominance. He made it clear Garry is no ordinary challenger and possesses the tools to create one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. The warning is out. Count Ian Garry out at your own risk because Chael believes he's a legitimate threat to the throne.
I actually think Ian Garry can beat Islam. Now, I'm not predicting for you that he's going to, we'll get to that as this fight gets closer, but I'm sharing for you he can.
Chael Sonnen wants Ian Garry to bring the same psychological warfare that made Conor McGregor legendary against Jose Aldo. He believes Garry shouldn't just prepare for the fight, he should start the battle at the press conferences and face-offs by putting pressure on Islam Makhachev. According to Chael, rattling the champion mentally could make this title fight even more explosive before the cage door even closes. If Garry can force Islam out of his comfort zone, the road to pulling off a massive upset becomes far more dangerous.
But he's gonna be to Islam what Conor was to Aldo. What are we talking about? He's got a way, he sees something, he's got a way, he's got a pattern, he's got something he's going to try, and if it works, he's going to look great. Is that what we're talking about? Sometimes that happens. George Masvidal knew, I'm going to throw a knee. If it lands, I'm going to look great against Ben Askren. If it doesn't work, he's going to catch me, take me down, and I'm never going to get up. But I'm going to put everything into this. Like, sometimes it does work. But I don't want that to be what Garry's talking about. I want it to be fun starting now. I want him to go after him. I want him to get in his head. I want him to rattle him. I want Islam at the face-off to look away. Now, whether Islam does any of those things, right, it would just force Islam to rise. We could have some fun. Press conferences are only fun if there's a little bit of that sprinkled in there. Can we agree? Face-offs are only worth doing if there's a little bit in there. I just don't think that's what he's talking about. And I'm not getting the comparison. Now I'm open to it. I'm open to observing this and updating you guys as we go and telling you, hey, that's what he talked about. Okay, he's doing, hey, remember when Conor did that to Jose? Okay, hey, here's what he's doing. Here's the playbook. I just don't know if that's what he means.
However, Chael Sonnen revealed the brutal formula for beating Islam Makhachev, and it starts with shutting down his relentless takedowns. He warned that surviving isn't enough. You must push at a furious pace for all 25 minutes because Islam never slows down. According to Chael, anyone who can deny Islam's wrestling and match his endless cardio instantly becomes a real title threat. If Ian Garry can accomplish both, Chael believes the entire fight changes and the champion could be pushed into his toughest battle yet.
Ian Garry has answered a lot of questions, and if you're going to deal with Islam Makhachev, first and foremost, can you stop a takedown? Second, and it's in this order specifically, can you go hard for 5 rounds? Because Islam can. If you change it to 10 rounds, Islam's not going to wilt. Khabib and that whole team show up right. But if you could stop a takedown, and you could go hard for 25 minutes, conversation changes completely.
Moving on, Ian Garry made it clear that he knows exactly how dangerous Islam Makhachev is, calling him one of the greatest fighters in the sport today. He pointed to Islam's incredible resume, from becoming a 2-division UFC champion to breaking records as the most dominant lightweight champion in history before capturing the welterweight title. Garry even acknowledged that a victory over him would give Makhachev the longest active winning streak in UFC history. But instead of being intimidated, Garry embraced the challenge, saying there's no bigger opportunity than facing the very best to prove he belongs at the top.
I know how good Islam Makhachev is. I know how talented he is. He's 29-1 in the sport. He's a 2-weight division champion. He's the most successful lightweight champion of all time and had the most lightweight defenses of all time. He is the current welterweight champion of the world. He came up a division and won the title. He is tied for the longest consecutive active win streak in UFC history. And if he wins his next fight against me, he will break the record for the longest consecutive wins.
However, Ian Garry delivered a fearless warning to Islam Makhachev, declaring that defeating the UFC's most dominant champion would make his own greatness undeniable. He insisted he isn't chasing fame or easy victories. He's hunting the toughest man in the sport to prove he belongs at the very top. Garry made it clear that there is no fear in his mind, only the belief that he's ready to shock the world. His message to Islam was simple. When they step into the octagon, he's coming to end the champion's historic run and announce himself as the new king.
And that's the man I get to fight to prove that I'm the best in the world.
Sounds to me, though, like all of those things are your energy source.
When I beat him, it is undeniable that I am great. I wanted to be a world champion. I wanted to prove I was one of the best in the world. And I have to do that by beating some of the best in the world.
Moving to that, Arman Tsarukyan made it crystal clear that a rematch with Islam Makhachev wouldn't just be another title fight, it would be an all-time classic. He praised how both of them have evolved into complete world-class fighters since their first clash, turning a once-promising rivalry into the biggest showdown the lightweight division could ever see. According to Arman, if that rematch had happened, fans would have witnessed one of the greatest fights in UFC history.
Yeah, I wish we could fight last year this time. Yeah, would be the best maybe fight in whole time.
Why? Why do you think it would have been such a great fight?
Because it's we are such a well-rounded fighters, and you know, we have a story. Like, we fought when we were young, and like was 6 years ago. It was my debut, and like and then in 6 years we started winning our fights. He became a champion, I became a #1 contender, and fight with each other. So it's pretty interesting, you know.
In the end, Khabib Nurmagomedov returned to lead another brutal training camp, pushing Islam Makhachev and Team Khabib to championship level once again. Charles Oliveira admits Islam is still evolving, calling him one of the most complete fighters in MMA today. Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen believes Ian Garry has the tools to pull off one of the biggest upsets in UFC history if he can disrupt Islam mentally and stop his wrestling. Garry isn't backing down either, openly chasing the toughest challenge of his career to prove he belongs among the elite. And finally, Arman Tsarukyan believes a rematch with Islam would be one of the greatest fights the UFC has ever seen. The road to Islam Makhachev's next fight is heating up from every direction. Champions are praising him, contenders are calling him out, and analysts believe a historic upset is possible. But one question remains: can anyone truly stop the most dominant fighter in the UFC today? We'll find out soon enough. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more UFC news, fight breakdowns, and exclusive training updates. Turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest stories in MMA.